Wow, what an incredible experience to everybody. I mean, I think I've been here about 24 hours now.
Yeah.
What?
In the airport.
The most delightful, incredibly gracious people.
And the chicks are hot.
Oh my God. Listen, we live in Hollywood, okay, where pretty girls are a dime a dozen. Let me tell you what, the rest of them are.
But half of them are guys.
City. Woo! Beautiful women here. Gosh. Not that I watch.
So I guess you're going to see the show, right?
Hey, that guy in the front row, stand up. You look like my hair, dude. Just stand up and show everybody. Look at this.
Yeah!
That's my cousin. We got to talk later, dude. I got some like gel and stuff you could use.
All right, we already have a line forming for Q&A, so what I'm going to do is make this easy. We'll put the 4 questions that everybody's going to ask out right now.
Yeah.
Let them answer those.
Yes, it's my real hair.
Don't ask them to take the hat off. And then we'll have you guys ask them, what's their favorite color and boxers, briefs, and all that other stuff. Love to ask them. So the usual questions are, how'd you get into voiceover? How'd you get your roles as Yakko and Wacko?
Yeah.
Which one was I? Okay, go ahead.
He's the depressed one, Prozacco.
Or the smoker, tobacco. We had a lot of rejects. Tobacco.
And what's it like? How are you a voice actor? Just in general, how did you become a voice actor? What was it like getting your...
Well, I tell you what. Let me take the first question. Obviously, the main difference between doing live action, that is on-camera work, and voice work is the fact that, in my case, I'm not relegated to being hired as an average-looking white guy. There are a million of us with SAG cards in LA. So the cool thing about doing this is that I can do jobs like Animaniacs or Ninja Turtles or Pinky and the Brain or whatever and not be concerned about the way I look.
Even though you're damn handsome. Isn't he handsome, folks?
I'll take care of you later, but I got a couple of 20s right here. But I came to Los Angeles in 1978, ostensibly to do live action, because my background is theater and music. And and so when I was auditioning for stuff, I was getting TV commercials and a lot of episodic television and really awful feature work. But it wasn't that I didn't want to do cartoons. I just knew that when I came to Los Angeles, all of the cartoons were being done by a relatively small group of people because there was a relatively small amount of product. All the cartoons in those days, as you may recall, were on ABC, CBS, and NBC on Saturday morning, right? The traditional Saturday morning, eat your Frosted Flakes and watch cartoons. It's an American institution, and I was certainly part of it. So when the opportunity arose to audition for cartoons, I jumped on it because, like all of you, I was a total cartoon geek, and I was incredibly aware of who the actors were who voiced the majority of the characters, like Mel Blanc and Paul Frees and Dawes Butler and June Foray and all those people, right? They're all my heroes. So the opportunity arose, and it didn't take long for me to realize that this is really cool. Not only am I going to be able to ply my trade and act, and by the way, it's called voice acting, but it's small V, big A. It's about acting, and the reason you love characters, thank you so much, that Jess and I have done, but also characters like Bugs and Daffy and Tweety and Rocky and Bullwinkle that have lasted 50, 60 years, because they're acted beautifully, not only with respect to the talent behind the microphone, but the people who draw them, the Chuck Joneses and the Bob McKimsons and the, Bob Clampett. So it truly is a collaborative medium, man. I don't draw them and I don't write them. I'm just an actor and a singer. It certainly is an integral part of the character, but the characters become famous, and it is so beyond kind for you people to take the time to spend an afternoon telling us how much you enjoy the work we've done. So that's basically how I got into it, and then as I started getting more and more voice acting work, I kind of let the live action stuff slide. Because I was working every day, I would do The Mask in the morning, and I would do The Tick in the afternoon, and I would do Animaniacs the next morning, and Jimmy Neutron in the afternoon, and I would do Ninja Turtles the next morning.
And then he'd stand at the mailbox and wait for the checks to come in.
So that's basically how I got it. The opportunities arose, and I took advantage of them, and cut to 30 years later. The first cartoons I did were G.I. Joe and Transformers. 30 years ago. And so to be here with you people now is beyond wonderful. I thank you so much for your support and making me feel like I'm a rock star. He knows what it's like to be a rock star.
It's a long story, but listen, before I answer the question, and I'm going to keep myself brief, will you guys do me a favor? I told my mom what I was doing today, and she doesn't really understand the whole concept of my job. She's like, oh, are you talking like an animal or something? I'm like, no, Mom, I'm going to Salt Lake City to meet a bunch of friends. So will you guys stand up? I want to get a picture and text my mom. Thanks, guys. She's going to dig that. Okay, so I got into it.
His mom is a psychiatrist, trust me.
I got into it because, believe it or not, I was a singer in a Bon Jovi tribute band. That's not true. I was a singer in rock bands, and I did that for years, as did Rob. Then I got into being a jingle singer. And even then, though, for all you aspiring voiceover people up there, you always want to stand out from the pack, and you don't have to have hair like this to do it. What I did, my first demo that I ever made for being a session singer, remember We Are the World, the song We Are the World? I could always imitate singers, so my whole demo tape, I did We Are the World, and I imitated everybody on the song, see? And it was smart, because it got me noticed, so I started doing jingles and stuff. And then, a guy I sang jingles for was doing the music for a ride at Disneyland called Splash Mountain. You guys know that, right? And he called me, and he's like, hey, man, you know how you're always doing those stupid voices?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah. And he goes, do you think you want to come in and make an audition at Disney? And
You want to come in and make some stupid money?
and I thought, that sounds good. I said, do I have to wear spandex? He said, no, this is something different. So I came in, and I auditioned, and I got Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear and some other things on that, right? And then, yeah, it was cool. And then I became Roger Rabbit because they were having some problems with that dude, which was great. And then they said, do you want to audition for this show called Animaniacs? And I thought that was good because they said Steven Spielberg was involved, and I thought maybe I could play E.T. And I said, yes, that's good. So then I went and auditioned, and I'll sum it all up, and I got it, thank God, but I'll sum it all up. What Rob said about being a cartoon geek, I'll tell you, I was blessed in my ignorance, you guys, because this is how cool it was. I didn't know who any voice actors were. I just knew like the bass player from AC/DC and stuff. I didn't know any voice actors. And I showed up at the session, and here's Rob Paulsen and Tress MacNeille and Frank Welker. You guys know who Frank is, right? And they're like the all-stars. It's like the biggest people in voiceover. And I'm just like, they were doing their thing, and I'm just looking at them going, you guys are weird. You know, because I didn't know that I should be intimidated by them, so I wasn't. And now we're all dear friends. And like Rob said, here we are with you guys. And the coolest thing about it is we started doing this so long ago, and we still get to do it all the time. So you know, this show, Animaniacs, it means a lot to you guys. There are kids growing up right now. The coolest thing, you know, we're on this show together called Doc McStuffins. It's a show for little kids, you know. And they're growing up with that now. And the cartoons we did 10 years ago, those people are growing up. So it's like we get to be a part of all your guys' childhood in a really legal way, and it's cool.
Right.
All right. Dude, Clint, we got a lot of clips. What else do you want to know? What else did you say? The guy with my hair is freaking me out. What did you say?
That was it. We answered.
Oh, we did? Okay, so we're going to go to
I don't think did anyone count? Did he take a breath that whole time?
Great.
You know why? Because I'm like TikTok, man. We got to want to take care of all you people. And by the way, another quick thing. Did you know about this movie read thing? This movie read thing, if you guys, I don't know what you're doing at 4 o'clock, it's going to be me, Robbie, and Jim Cummings, who's Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2 and all this. And we're going to read Harry Potter, but we're going to screw it all up and read it as all together. So trust me, it'll be the most fun panel of the weekend. I swear you got to go. What is this thing called, Rob?
Yeah.
Peter Piper Pickle.
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
And make sure you're all here.
You got the good mic. How the hell did that happen? No, it's all right. Go ahead.
Rockstar.
Make sure you're here because there will be audience participation in this one.
Yeah. We might even get one of you guys up on stage with us. How about that?
Be here early. I'm not pointing anyone out, but did anyone else see a purple pony in this room?
Is there a purple pony?
Freaking me out, man. It's freaking me out. I just gotta say it.
Well,
All right.
You're a Comic-Con. You gotta get used to it.
We'll go to the mic first.
Yeah, let's answer some questions.
Yeah, come on, you guys. What's up?
Hi, I met you yesterday, didn't I?
I did.
Hello, nurse.
Hello, Ness.
I was gonna ask you both, what episode and what part is your favorite?
What episode? Well, we did about 100 half hours, some of which were comprised of 2 or 3 11-minute episodes.
Yeah, and lots of little bits in between.
Yeah, I think my favorite Animaniacs episode, there were a couple. I really liked West Side Pigeons. When we have the brilliant Maurice LaMarche doing Ray Liotta, and John Mariano doing Bob De Niro, and Chick Panera doing Joe Pesci, and fantastic stuff. I really like that one. You know, there are so many. I like King Yakko because I love to sing, and the music was such an integral part of Animaniacs, and it was so hip to go to a job in which there was a segment of King Yakko that they took the music from Gilbert and Sullivan. So Yakko said, "I am the very model of a cartoon individual. My animations comical, unusual, and mystical. One of the funny guys to be the theory I have heard. From stupid jokes and friggin' puns and anthems that grab on your head." So I like that one.
You are a rock star, do you see that?
Yeah.
That's how it works. So my favorite, sweetie, I loved, do you remember an episode called Potty Emergency? Because that's my life. It's like everybody knows, like, potty, I've got some potty, and then see it, it turned into, you'll learn what it is later, probably later today, maybe like a half hour.
He's got big hair, small bladder.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you very much,
guys.
Hi, Dad.
All right, next up.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
As a hobby, I'm a magician.
Good.
And I'm showing my kids all the time, and they're always sick of me showing them because I'm practicing in front of them. Do you have similar
At least
experiences?
you're not a hitman.
Do you guys have similar experiences with your friends or family? Do they get sick of you trying new voices or practicing, or do you guys do that?
Well, I think as I look back when I was very young, I think that you certainly, you know, there's a point at which your parents think you're really charming and cute, and everybody else thinks, oh my God, if they make that stupid kid sing "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog" one more time, I'm going to kill myself, you know. No, I learned pretty quickly that although my wife loves me and she's glad that I do what I do because, as a matter of fact, her Native American name is She Who Walks with a Gold Card. Or dances with plastic. So to keep that alive, I have to work. So she's very proud of what I do, but I have a tendency to come up with new stuff in my car because I live about a half hour, 45 minutes from work. So yeah, I practice a lot. I know that when I was first doing Ninja Turtles, at the very beginning of the whole run all those years ago, thank you, the following used to happen at our house a lot. My son at the time was about 8 when Turtles hit, so as you can imagine, it was really exciting for both of us. I was a big hit at career day, I can tell you. But what would happen at home would be the following. The phone would ring and my son would pick it up. He's maybe 9. He says, "Hello." "Oh yeah, no, he really is." "Yeah, he is." "Okay, hang on a second. Hey Dad, Jason wants to talk to Raphael." You know. So I'd get the phone. "Hey Jason, what's shaking, buddy? You seen Shredder in the area? No? Cool, have a hot fudge marshmallow, tuna fish, and burrito pizza. Turtle power! You know. And then my son would take the phone. "I told you." "Yeah, okay, I'll see you tomorrow." Click. So it's very laissez-faire. I think as he gets older, it's kind of cool for him now that he's a grown-up, but it's, yeah, you have to be careful where you know, don't push your family to the point of suicide.
All I can say, and again, I'll keep it brief, is you know, my girl, when we first got together, all my voices were so entertaining, and she thought every one of them was amazing, you know. And we'd be like in a social situation, even to this day, if I do a voice or an impression, because I do a lot of impressions, because I do a lot of voice matching for movies and stuff, if I do one and it's really good, and she's across the room from me, she looks at me, she goes like this, she goes, like that. But if it's bad, if it's not really good, I look at her and she's like, and then in the car, she's like, "You know, you do this for a living. You should work on it." And I'm like, "Oh, for God's sake." So everybody's a critic. All right, who's next? What do we got next?
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Next up.
Hi.
Hi, this question's for Rob. What's your favorite part about having already been 2 of the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? What is your name, sir?
I'm Garrett.
Hi, Garrett. Thank you for coming. And
Thank you for coming.
oh, it is such a pleasure.
We had nothing else to do.
I got no place else to go. No, this really is icing on the cake. It's such an utter joy to be here. Well, thank you for asking. As you can imagine, having a chance to get 2 rides in the Turtle Van in your career is a pretty cool thing. When we started doing Ninja Turtles in the original batch, nobody, including Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, had any idea that it would become a show in which a person who had yet to be born, Garrett, would show up 30 years later asking about this show that continues arguably to be as big as it's ever been, right? This is an interesting thing, and I try not to drag this out, but I was almost a victim of my own ageism. And by that I mean, when we did the first batch of Ninja Turtles, it was huge. It's the original, and I'm grateful to be part of it. But there were several iterations, movies and such that happened after the initial Turtles that had nothing to do with the original cast. And I get that. I'm a free market capitalist. I know how it works. A guy says, I own the property now. I want to hire my own actors. I totally get that. That's the way it goes. So 25 years later, I get a phone call from my agent who says, Viacom, who owns Nickelodeon, now owns the rights to Ninja Turtles. They would love to have you come in and audition. And I said, well, do they know who I am? But not out of arrogance, because, mind you, I had gone from being a 30-year-old to a 54-year-old, right? And I thought, there's this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it didn't occur to me that the people who are making it now were like 35. And they grew up watching the original Turtles. And they don't give a darn that I've got white hair or no hair or, hair that you... Oh my God, look, there's Kim Kardashian.
No, dude, I won't even let her near me.
No buts about it. Anyway, I said, well, I'm happy to. And they said, we just would prefer that you read for Donatello. We love Raphael. We grew up watching him. We just think, So that's kind of, I learned a really valuable lesson, which is to remind myself that it's about the performing. And nobody cares that you're older or younger. Mel Blanc worked until he was 87 years old. So the short answer to your question is it's unbelievable. And I think that the reason that the new show is real, I know we're here ostensibly to talk about Animaniacs, but the fact is the new Ninja Turtle show is excellent. And it's excellent because it's being made by people who grew up totally understanding the mythology of turtles. And they have huge respect for the fan base because they are all turtle geeks too. So it's a hell of a gas. I appreciate you asking.
I'll thumbnail that also by saying the best part about doing voiceover, Garrett, is that you can go to a job, play the father, the son, and the dog in the same day at the same time and not have to do makeup. Now, how cool is that?
Yeah.
All right, who's next? What do we got?
Thank you, Garrett.
Hey, by the way, anybody who doesn't get a question, and all you guys all together, we're signing stuff down there. So if you don't make it to ask whatever you want now, please come and see us. We'd love to meet you in person and shake hands with you and come down and say hi. So we'll be
Yes, and to clarify, unlike, and I won't name any names, something gets under my crop. If you don't have to buy anything, if you want to come up and say hello and ask me a question.
We just like to meet you, man.
All right? And
Because we appreciate you guys a lot.
yeah, just like I said, I am a free market capitalist, but I'm also a realist. This is a very expensive proposition to come and drop a lot of money to do all these things. It's a phenomenally run con.
Yeah.
But the point is, you don't want to blow all your wad in the first 2 autographs. So I don't want you to feel like you have to, if you have to stand in line and you don't want to buy anything, please just come to say hello and ask a question. It is not necessary for you to spend money to talk to me.
But if you want to touch my hair, it's $50. Although that guy is free. So you can, if you don't have any dough, and you can say hi to me and then do whatever you want with
Yeah.
me.
All right, the guys in the back of the line.
The thing is, we charge you to leave the line. So that's the problem. Anyway, ask me.
All right.
Hello.
In regards to Animaniacs, do you have any stories from behind the mic?
Oh my goodness.
It's only a half hour. We only got 20 minutes left here.
Yeah. They're too many to count. We were with Tress last weekend doing a live Animaniacs music show in San Francisco. And,
It was great. You guys, I wish you could have come. Where were you?
Yeah, but we just were reminded, we did 100 episodes, and it happened more than a couple dozen times that we would look at each other and say, wow, you should take a mental picture of this. This is as good as it gets.
Yes.
Because you're working with people whom you would choose as your personal friends
To hang out with.
to hang out with Steven Spielberg and Andre Romano and Gene McCurdy and Tom Ruger and all these great writers, Peter Hastings. And then they pay you money. And then you come back 20 years later and have all these beautiful people who want to tell you how much they love the work. So, yeah, there were tons of them. And I have to say, honestly, there were a couple of series of outtakes that we can't share with you because they did get a little bit on the blues. As you can imagine. But, oh gosh, tons of fun.
To sum up the behind the scenes thing that you had at Animaniacs, think of a time in your life when you were with the people you liked the best, having the best time you ever had with no drama at all. It was like that every day. Now, how cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Speaking of songs, you guys want to hear one?
Fire up the cameras. By the way, before I do this, I have to put a little shameless plug. If you guys want to follow, are you at Jess Harnell on Twitter?
Yeah, I am. I don't even know how it works, but somebody answers those questions.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Yakko Pinky, all lowercase, right? One word, Y-A-K-K-O-P-I-N-K-Y. And as I mentioned before, we are now doing live Animaniacs music with symphony orchestras around the country.
Yeah.
So
We might be coming to you.
You guys have a phenomenal 75 years young Utah Symphony
Yeah,
with some 85-piece orchestra. So talk to them, spread the word. Because I'm telling you, if they get 1,000 people, that's a pretty nice thing. And it is so entertaining. We do it with the songs in real time with a big screen. It's so cool.
It's really cool.
One of which is this. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, El Salvador, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, Guyana, Barbados, and Guam, Norway, and Sweden, and Iceland, and Finland, and Germany, now in peace, Switzerland, Latvia, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey, and Greece, all of Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq, and Iran, there's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Ukraine, Croatia, Bahrain, the Netherlands, Belgium, Belgium, and Portugal, France, and Denmark, and Spain, India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, and Nepal, and Bhutan, and Fuji, and London, and Bangladesh, and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Russia, Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, and Korea, and Vietnam, Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, and Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Ethiopia, Ghana. But wait, there's more.